Welcome to the first episode of the Kool Kidz Podcast. That is the Boys and Girls Club of Saline County podcast. This is a iteration of the Teen News Central. It started off as a newsletter and it slowly evolved into a news broadcast that we played on the Facebook and in the club on the TVs, and now it has evolved into our podcast. And this is a place for our students to talk about what's going on in the club, talk about some of the things they'd like to see happen in the club, and a place for us to talk about various topics that might not be club related, but the kids find interesting. And I have a few questions to ask them, and I hope to get their input on it. And then we're going to lead into a few other different topics throughout our episode. And today, what we're going to be focusing on is the new club system. Summers past, we've done free play in the morning, rotations in the afternoon. Because of the coronavirus, COVID-19, we've had to shift into having rotations all day long. So, does anyone want to talk about the club so far this summer? Do you like how it's functioning? Do you like how the groups are set up? Do you guys have anything to say about that? Would anybody like to start us off?
I think it's way better than last time I went here in the summer. And on how it's because of the rotations are longer, so then you can have more time to do the activity, and it's just better when I used to go here.
Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to say about the rotations this summer? How it's different from summers in the past? If someone who's been here before, do you guys have anything that you'd like to say about this summer? How it's different?
There are smaller groups and there's not as much people in them, and it's like better because you can make more friends because it's just a smaller group, and it's way more fun now than the old time. And yeah.
So, are you enjoying all the day rotations? You know how you're here, and you basically, I guess, rotate the entire time you're here to different areas. So, are you enjoying it? Why or why not?
Yes, because it's fun.
That's all? Yeah. Nothing else?
Kinda, because some of them are kind of boring.
Boring. Are some of them kind of fun?
Yeah, some of them are fun.
Kind of, because some of them I get bored at.
So far, what has been y'all's favorite rotation area? We have a few places around the boys club. We have the gyms, we have 2 learning centers, 2 art rooms, 2 tech labs. We have a couple of other places that do various activities. So I'm kind of just going to pass it around right now. I'm going to start.
My favorite one was the tech lab over there.
Tech lab 1.
Tech lab 1, because we could play Just Dance, and that was fun.
I like the Learning Center too because we got to make slime in there.
I like the gym.
I like both of the learning centers, the tech labs, because it helps me prepare for the beta club around the world.
Okay, I'm glad that we had a wider range of places people like, not just maybe one area over another. Is everyone here enjoying the group that they're in, or do you wish that you were in a different group? Do the groups have like drawbacks and stuff?
I like how there's older kids in just one group instead of little kids and older kids combined. I like how it's just teenagers in one group and younger kids in another group.
That is an interesting point. How summers in the past, the teenagers group has been like a 6th through 9th grade, and you've had older kids mixed in, or you might have a 9th grader mixed in with a 6th grader. Does anyone else have something to add to that question? Okay. And with the rotation schedule, we have an A day and a B day. the kids will be one group of kids will be on one side of the club on an A day, and then on the B day they would go to the other side of the club, and the children that were on the other side would come over to the A day side. Does anyone here have something they want to say about the A day or B day rotation? I mean, are you enjoying the rotation system?
In my opinion, I think B Day is better because I don't know. It just is better.
Does anyone else have something they want to add?
Well, I like how it's not the same. Like in the regular Boys and Girls Club, we would always do the same rotations. And this year, we just like do different rotations every day. And it's more fun that way.
I like both A and B day, and I like them both.
What is something you would want to do at the club that isn't being done now? You can think about it because there's like a bunch of things that you come up with that, like an activity, or like other kids said, maybe go swim at the river center or go do stuff at the soccer field. Yeah. So what? But this summer is like totally different. So what is something that you wish we did this summer, or something that isn't being done at the club now that you wish we were able to do? Does that make sense?
For an hour, we could do whatever we want. Bring like a PlayStation here, like your own PlayStation.
Do you like play on electronics or your phone?
Yeah, there can be like little TV stands everywhere. Bring your PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. Bring it there.
And we're going to move towards some questions about what's going on in the world right now. So, the reason that the club is divided into these groups right now, it's different than it was in the years in the past, is because of the coronavirus, COVID-19, that we are all having to deal with. And that has affected all of our lives, but it has surely affected our students' lives because they are school-age children. They had to leave school in mid-March to stay at home and learn from their bedrooms, their kitchen tables, maybe the library. We were all affected in some way. So does anyone want to talk about how maybe it's different now that you can't go out as many places as you were able to? You're having to stay indoors more so than summers in the past or months in the past. Does anyone have anything that they want to say about how this is being indoors is affecting you?
Being indoors is a lot harder than you think. When you stay indoors, you can't go out places and meet friends or things like that. You can't go have parties. But especially since we're in the Boys and Girls Club, we can't go out roaming and having fun as much as we did in other summers.
It seems like you guys are coping really well. As the summer goes on, we will have different topics to talk about. This podcast will not always be consumed by club talk or talk of the coronavirus. We're going to have lots of different topics that the students pick themselves, and from there, we will be able to develop our podcast into something that not only the club staff enjoy listening to, but hopefully parents all around our community and maybe people all around our state are able to listen to. But for now, this is the Kool Kidz Pod here at the Boys and Girls Club of Sling County, and we are signing off.